friends, you are watching Political Point Magazine. Where the right is right and the left is always on the wrong side of history. Political minds want to know. So enjoy a conservative point of view. And let's talk pea soup. Ah, yes, my friends. Tonight, I don't even have any headlines tonight. Okay, so I'm gonna start this one off just as we get into season. What I want to do is cut to the chase here. Cut to the chase here. Alright, now, so we've gotten through Super Tuesday, and pardon me, but my mic is a little up there. So I just wanted to adjust the sound for a second here, because now we've gotten through Super Tuesday, alright, and with everything that has popped up now. Okay, we have Super Tuesday clips. Okay, and I'm gonna start off with a lot of things now. All right, but first off, what I want to begin with is we've just had the Super Tuesday. These were the big elections. Okay, there was 11 states, and Trump won most of them. All right, yes. So with the Super Tuesday states, okay, the delegates and stuff, Trump had a lot in his corner. Now, Ted Cruz won Texas, all right, and Bernie Sanders won Vermont, and Hillary won. Trump won 7 states, 7 out of 11. Hillary won 7 out of 11. And Cruz won 3 states. And Marco Rubio only won Minnesota. So, but what I want to do first off, okay, now is I want to say this. Okay, I want to say this. Okay, with all of the primaries and caucuses that came up, all right, this is the year for Trump, mind you. Okay, Trump had an exciting. Donald Trump, instead of doing this big speech as things popped up, he decided to go with a press conference. All right. So at this juncture, it made him look more presidential, I thought. Okay. Whereas the other candidates, Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, they decided to have speeches. All right, but Donald Trump had his press conference, and I'm going to get into that in a moment, okay, because I want to show you the importance this press conference, and he really looked more presidential than the other the other three candidates. All right. So now, while I'm waiting for that to come up, though, okay, I have a lot going for me, okay, in this season here, okay, but it looks to me like Donald Trump really took it all, and it's a shame that they didn't have more. They didn't have. It wasn't winner take all, but now, so Trump and Cruz. Cruz had a good night on Tuesday. Trump had a good night, but Marco Rubio, he just didn't make the cut. Okay, and I'm not so sure that Marco Rubio is going to be getting anywhere. At this point in the campaign, it seems to me that Marco Rubio is counting on winning Florida. All right, now, but I want to get into the press conference of Donald J. Trump. Okay, now all throughout the press conference. Okay, now, but also, with all of this, Trump and Clinton and wait a minute. Okay, but the very next thing. All right, but first, oh wait a minute. Here. Okay, here's Marco Rubio. Okay, let's start with that. In fact, I'm going to put this segment as I get into the speeches here. I'm going to put this segment in my Political Point magazine's political point of vision. All right, because I got lots to cover here, and I really want you to see the speeches here. So here's Marco Rubio.
Our numbers going up. And 2 weeks from tonight, right here in Florida, we are going to send a message loud and clear. We are going to send the message that the party of Lincoln and Reagan and the presidency of the United States will never be held by a con artist. Of all the places in America, and I have traveled this country now, and I am so proud to be back, because there is no place in America that understands the American dream better than this community and this great state of Florida. Like our country, this is a place built by people who always work hard for a better life. Here in this community, we have all been shaped and raised by people that know how special America is, because they know what life is like outside of America. By millions of people who lost their homeland, by millions of people that lost their future. But thank God they found this great country where anything is possible, where everyone can go as far as their talent and their work will take them. But we know that the things that make America special were not an accident. They did not happen on their own. They happened because for over 200 years, each generation of Americans did what they needed to do to leave their children better off than themselves. I know of no place in America that understands that better than we do here. For literally every single one of us here is but a generation removed from someone who made our future the purpose of their lives. Only in America would that have been possible. But that American dream that changed our lives and changed the world is in trouble now. For the first time in a long time, young Americans believe the American dream is dead. It is not dead, but it is in a lot of trouble. Because after 8 years of Barack Obama, the American dream is slipping away for millions. But here's the good news. We do not have to remain on the road we are on right now. And when I am President of the United States, we will not just save the American dream, we will expand it to reach more people than ever.
Okay, now that was Marco Rubio. Okay, now at this point, Marco Rubio's counting on Florida. You know, if you notice, on Super Tuesday, he did his speech live from wait a minute. Yeah, he did his speech live from Florida. All right, and he is counting on Florida since he's the senator from Florida. Okay, and another thing I need to do is get this down there now. But I want to show Trump's press conference. All right, because at this press conference, okay, it made him seem more presidential. All right, I thought. Okay, and then because if you compare Trump's press conference to if you compare Trump's press conference to the speeches of Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, then you can see that the Donald actually looked more presidential, and with all of this coming, it's like now. Oh, wait a minute. But anyhow, actually, you know, before I get to that, you know, I really have lots of other stuff to cover before I get to the press conference. Okay, so we're gonna keep listen to the political point division. All right, and you know, and I'll show you lots of stuff that has been going on. Okay, so first off, what we have here is a situation here where Super Tuesday worked out pretty good for Donald Trump. Okay, he won 7 out of 11 states, and in most of the polls now, in the exit polling, okay, now this is of those who are angry with the way federal government angry with the way that federal government is working. Those that supported Ted Cruz, that was the most important issue. 43%. Donald Trump 30%. Marco Rubio 17%, and John Kasich only got 4% on that. Okay, and then there was the others coming in here, of those who value honesty and trustworthiness as the most important issue. Okay, and this is out of Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. 59% Bernie Sanders felt 59% felt Bernie Sanders was honest and trustworthy versus Hillary's 41%. All right. So honesty and trustworthiness was important in this election, and it continues to be important in this election. All right. Now, then there is of those. Okay. Then there is of those who certify as evangelicals. Okay. Now get this. Donald Trump got evangelicals 39%, 24% went to Ted Cruz, and 21% went for Rubio, and then Ben Carson 10%. Okay, so Donald Trump is getting the evangelicals and the Christian vote. So obviously spirituality is a factor in this election here. All right. So and then of this, okay, the evangelicals are just going for Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump could go all the way. In fact, I would like to see Donald do this. In fact, you know what Donald Trump has been doing? Okay, Donald Trump has now been the candidate that the Republican Party has needed, because he's bringing so many people into this. All right, the enthusiasm is almost as if, you know, okay, if you look at the enthusiasm to in this race, all right, and I'm gonna show you this, the vote count, okay, the vote count versus
Democrats.
okay, the vote count here, okay, if you noticed here, okay, the vote count with this here, but if you look at the scene in Iowa, voter turnout increased for the Republicans, but it shrank under for the Democrats. Okay, so now in Iowa, voter turnout was 57%, was up 57% for the Republicans, and down 27% for the Democrats. In New Hampshire, it was voter turnout was up 19% versus the Democrats it was down 13% from 2008. All right. Okay. And then in South Carolina, voter turnout was up 71% for the Republicans and down 31% for the Democrats versus 2008. Right? In Nevada, it was up 70% for the Republicans and down 32% for the Democrats versus 2008. And that, so this bears in mind here, all right, that and then again, okay, in the vote count for Super Tuesday, all right, Alabama voter turnout was up 51% for the Republicans, versus the Democrats it was down 27% versus 2008. Right, in Arkansas, 89%, it was up 89%. I am reading that right, am I? Oh, up 9%, I think. But anyhow, it was up for the Republicans versus down 26% for the Democrats. And then in Georgia, it was up 34% for the Republicans and down 29% for the Democrats. Right? In Massachusetts, it was up 23% for the Republicans, down 7% versus 2008 for the Democrats. Okay. Now, what it was in 2008, and so with all of this coming in here, now we are in tremendous, and while Trump continues to dominate in the polls, there. Um, I want to bring in to play, that I want to bring up here now. Um, guess who? Guess who now has put his input into the race here? All right, now at this juncture, in time, okay, we've been through the primaries, we've been through Super Tuesday, we've been through Super Saturday, and we've been through the primaries and caucuses on Sunday. All right, in which Marco Rubio now has two. Marco Rubio has two states that he's won now. Minnesota on Super Tuesday, and then yesterday he won Puerto Rico. All right, I'm guessing that's because he's the only candidate out there now who's fluent in speaking Spanish, and But anyhow, something else has popped up in the news. Guess who is being the spoil sport? All right. Well, my friends, Mitt Romney has now popped his face up in the news, and my friends, he's being a sore loser. In fact, okay, Mitt Romney attacked Donald Trump on Thursday, and was concise and well written, and but by calling the front runner a phony and a fraud. Okay, now why is Romney doing this? I am just wondering. Okay, but let me show for you some clips here. Clips. Hold up a second. Okay.
I'm not going to vote for Hillary Clinton, that's for sure. I'm not going to sit out. I'll either vote for a conservative who runs, or I'll write in the name of a conservative. A fraud. His promises are as worthless as a degree from Trump University.
And that's when the two...
Now, so, may I point out, though, okay, all right, now, may I point out, though, that this comes as, I just don't know, what is his reasoning, okay? And it just seems to me that Romney now has come out as the ultimate establishment candidate. All right, now he failed in 2012, right? And he comes out now to attack Donald Trump. All right, now, so with all of this now, it just, I don't know why Romney would do such a thing. Okay, so he's coming out now, and take a listen now, and it just didn't seem to me like he was up in his game here. Now, first off, Trump won Kentucky and Maine, and now the delegate count. Okay, the delegate count now. The delegate count comes as Trump gets 378 delegates. Cruz has 295. and Rubio has 123 with Kasich at 34. After Super Tuesday, Ben Carson dropped out of the race. Okay, but now back to Romney. Okay, now back to Romney. Okay, and this, my friends, you know, and he attacked Trump, the front runner, right, in a scathing speech. All right, now,
candidate. He should have.
Okay, no, and
He failed miserably, and it was an embarrassment to everybody, including the Republican Party.
Well, there's no question I'm going to do everything within the normal political bounds to make sure that we don't nominate Donald Trump. I think he would be terribly unfit for office. I don't think he has the temperament to be president. And so I want to see one of the other three become the nominee.
Really? Are you serious? Romney? One of the other three? Okay, now, this puzzles me. Okay. Now, this makes Romney look like a sore loser. Right? The ultimate in, let me see. How should I say? This is the GOP's version of Al Gore. Yeah, the GOP's version of Al Gore. Okay. But my friends, we welcome you. Okay, and you know, this just reminds me of something. You know, Romney says he wants to take it to the convention, and you know what this reminds me of, though. You know what this reminds me of. This reminds me of Star Trek Insurrection.
Picard just told us our deal.
What's he talking about?
Exile is to die slowly. Brought the Federation into the middle of a blood feud, Admiral. The children of...
Yeah. But anyhow, Romney says, okay, now, Romney says, three questions here. Okay, now, well, I just have three questions, actually. Okay, now, why is the last GOP nominee shredding his most likely successor if he feels so strongly that Trump must be stopped? Okay, why didn't he endorse another candidate, and why make the unprecedented attack with all of this now? Okay, so Trump is ahead in the polls. He comes out here, and it's almost as if, I haven't seen anything like this before. Romney comes out with a scathing
Republican Party, and I'm getting zero credit for it.
Yeah. And this is what Trump said here. Okay? And this is what Trump said. Okay? Trump is actually bringing in new voters who haven't even voted before. And the enthusiasm, as I mentioned before, is with the Republican Party. Okay? And it's because of Trump here.
Politics is what's happening to the Republican Party, and I'm getting zero credit for it. And I should get all, because they're not coming in for little Marco, that I can tell you.
We can't win if we're divided against each other. We can't win if we have to spend 6 months convincing our own to vote for our front runner, to vote for our nominee.
If we remain divided, Donald Trump wins. And the more we unite Republicans, the more we're going to beat Donald.
All I'm suggesting is it looks increasingly, if I win Ohio, as though we will have a convention that will come together to pick, I would think, the adult in the room.
Really? No. So that is the candidates here. Now, let me show you something that okay, Rush Limbaugh. Okay, and this is his perception of the race here. Okay, with Romney weighing in and everything, but this is Rush Limbaugh's.
Rings around everybody in terms of awareness of the issues, knowledge of the issues, mastering whatever it was that was discussed in terms of the old way that we used to consider qualifications for the presidency, the old way in which we used to analyze competence. Ted Cruz hit a grand slam home run last night, but that's not how we make judgments on these things today.
Now, that was Rush Limbaugh on the structure of things. All right. Now, and the perception of things that are going on with the election today, and he's exactly right. You know, besides, you know, just take a look at the alternative. All right, and that would be Hillary Clinton.
FBI investigation, and some guy who worked for her has gotten immunity from prosecution. Shouldn't they be tempted to conclude, like, well, maybe she could get prosecuted?
No, not at all. This is the same security review that has been going on since last spring. I'm happy that everybody now has been cooperating and giving information, because I think that will finally end this. I know that, you know, the Republicans are engaging in a lot of wishful thinking, but this is not anything people should be worried about.
Really? Now, what that is about, now, the reporter brought up that the FBI investigation into Hillary Clinton, all right, is getting close and closer and closer to indictment, and they just granted the Clinton staffer who pleaded the fifth before, all right, who pleaded the fifth, all right, and this is the guy that actually created the server that was in Hillary Clinton's house. You know, this is the guy that built the server. Okay, they granted this guy immunity, which means he has to testify now, and he has to spill the beans now. So, which means the FBI investigation is getting closer and closer to indictment. So Hillary's in a lot of trouble here. So on the Democratic side, we have Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. Right? Two of the worst candidates of our time. And then on the Republican side, the leading candidate, Donald Trump, is winning, keeps on winning and winning and winning. And then in the meantime, Romney, the sore loser, comes out and says this scathing speech against Donald Trump, saying that he's calling Donald Trump a fraud and a con artist and all of these other stuff that that's quite unheard of, you know. You know, and you know, it begs the question here. All right, so we finally have a candidate in Donald Trump that is doing everything, and I mean everything, my friends, everything that the GOP has ever wanted in a candidate. All right, and then we have the establishment, Mitt Romney, coming out and saying that he's going to start an anti-Trump movement. All right. Now, you know, I golly gee, you know, I really wish that you know, I don't know what his intentions are at this point, you know, but the establishment cannot gain any sort of ground, you know, and with this, you know, the establishment is just getting old, you know, and they haven't managed to stop to put anything productive in play. They just give in to the same old Washington nonsense, and it's not doing the American people any good. Okay, and so as things have progressed, and as Trump gets further and further ahead in the polls now, you see these establishment candidates, or these establishment people, Mitt Romney being one of them, okay, Mitt Romney being one of them, and you know, I really wonder, though, where was Romney when he endorsed, or where was Romney when Trump endorsed Romney, right? Now, back in 2012, you know, he wasn't saying all of these scathing things. You know, he wasn't saying all these scathing things about Donald Trump. You know, in fact, he praised Donald Trump for running a successful company. All right, you know, and you know, we haven't seen shenanigans like this since 76, and also when Goldwater was running. You know, you know, I just don't know. You know, I just don't know. All right, but you know, before I take another call here, all right, before we take another call here, okay, we want to get to, now, I want to get to the debate on, I want to get to the debate. You ready for this? All right. The GOP debate also was on Thursday, all right, and it was, let's just say there was fireworks.
President Obama, very easy. He failed miserably, and it was an embarrassment to everybody, including the Republican Party. He went away, it looked like he went away on a vacation the last month. So I don't take that, and I guess obviously he wants to be relevant, he wants to be back in the game. As far as domestic policy and trade, which is killing our country, he said free trade, and I believe in free trade also. But if you look at China, and if you look at Japan, and if you look at Mexico, both at the border, by the way, where they're killing us, both at the border and with trade, and every other country we do business with, we are getting absolutely crushed on trade. And he said, free trade, I say free trade, great, but not when they're beating us so badly. With China, we're going to lose $505 billion in terms of trades. You just can't do it. Mexico, $58 billion. Japan, probably about, they don't know it yet, but about $109 billion. Every country we lose money with. As far as I'm concerned, we've got to reduce, we have to redo our trade deals 100%. I have the greatest business people in the world lined up to do it. We will make great trade deals.
Mr. Trump, Romney also talked about your position on race and the controversy over your failure to denounce David Duke on Sunday. You have repeatedly disavowed him since then, but I'd like to go deeper than that. What are your views on the Ku Klux Klan and white supremacists?
I totally disavow the Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. I've been doing it now for 2 weeks. You're probably about the 18th person that's asked me the question. It was very clear. That question was also talked about in the form of groups. I want to know, which groups are you talking about? You have to tell me which groups. Ultimately, he got to the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow. And by the way, if you look on my Twitter account, almost immediately after the program, they were disavowed again. You know, it's amazing. When I do something on Twitter, everybody picks it up, goes all over the place. But when I did this one, nobody ever picks it up. Take a look at my Twitter account.
Thank you.
Well, you said, quote, I don't do the personal attacks, primarily because it's not who I am, because I think it's beneath the office that I'm seeking, but also because I don't want to embarrass my kids. But in the past week, you've mocked Mr. Trump's tan. You've made fun of his spelling. You called him a con artist. You suggested he wet himself backstage at the last debate, along with other vulgar jokes. So what happened?
Yeah, you know, Brett, let me say something. This campaign for the last year, Donald Trump has basically mocked everybody with personal attacks. He's done so to people that are sitting on the stage today. He's done so about people that are disabled. He's done it about every other candidate in this race. So if there's anyone who's ever deserved to be attacked that way, it's been Donald Trump for the way he's treated people in the last campaign. Now, that said, I would much prefer to have a policy debate. I hope that's what we'll have here tonight. Let's have a policy debate.
And we
Let's
will.
talk about Donald Trump's strategy and my strategy and Ted's strategy and John Kasich's strategy when it comes to ISIS and on health care and on the important issues facing this country. But let's be honest, too, about all this. The media has given these personal attacks that Donald Trump has made an incredible amount of coverage. Let's start talking again about the issues that matter to this country. I'm ready to do that starting right here, right now, tonight.
Mr. Trump. Called him a lightweight, okay, and I have said that, so I would like to take that back. He's really not that much of a lightweight. And as far as, and I have to say this, he hit my hands. Nobody has ever hit my hands. I've never heard of this one. Look at those hands. Are they small hands? And he referred to my hands. If they're small, something else must be small. I guarantee you there's no problem. I guarantee it. All right. Okay. Moving on.
You say that you are the true conservative in this race. But 15 states have voted now, and you have won only 4 of them. You've lost repeatedly with what is supposed to be your core voter groups, including evangelicals and conservatives. So hasn't your brand of conservatism been rejected by an electorate that appears to be more taken with Mr. Trump's populist message?
Well, Megan, you know, at the end of the day, for the folks at home, this is not about the insults back and forth between the candidates. This is not about what attacks we can throw at each other. This is the people at home who are struggling. Through 7 years of Barack Obama, this is the single moms who are working 2 and 3 jobs, 28, 29 hours a week, because their hours have been forcibly reduced because of Obamacare. This is the truck drivers and the steel workers and the mechanics with calluses on their hands who've seen their wages not grow year after year after year while the cost of living goes up. This is all the young people coming out of school with student loans up to their eyeballs that aren't able to find a job. And I don't think the people of America are interested in a bunch of bickering school children. They're interested in solutions, not slogans. It's easy to say, make things better, make things great. You can even print it and put it on a baseball cap. But the question is, do you understand the principles that made America great in the first place? As president, I will repeal every word of Obamacare. I'll pull back the regulators that are killing small businesses. And we will pass a simple flat tax and abolish the IRS. And what that's going to do, Megan, is small businesses are going to explode. We're going to see millions of high-paying jobs. We're going to see wages going up. We're going to see opportunity. That's where our focus needs to be. That's where my focus is, and that is why our campaign is the only campaign that over and over again has beaten Donald Trump to date, and it's why we're the one campaign that going forward can and will beat Donald Trump in this election.
Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
I've heard Ted say that over and over again on television, that he's the only one that can beat me. Just for the record, I've won 10. He's won 3 or 4. Last week, in fact, on Tuesday, I was 500,000 votes